When disaster strikes, many communities don't have the resources they need to rebuild. Thankfully, there is assistance for communities in times of need. Section 1206 of the Disaster Recovery Reform Act, or DRRA, authorizes the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, to provide communities with the resources necessary to get on the path to recovery faster. This is the story of Maria, a local floodplain administrator from the city of Oakdale that was just devastated by a hurricane. As part of her community's floodplain management regulations, the city requires that substantially damaged structures be repaired to meet current flood standards. This reduces future impacts and helps strengthen community resilience. Maria must determine which structures are substantially damaged to stay in good standing with the National Flood Insurance Program, or NFIP. In previous smaller events, she completed these assessments with only the town manager. However, given the severity of the damage, Maria needs additional resources to help her community rebuild. Maria receives a call from the state NFIP coordinator, who informs her of new activities that are now eligible for reimbursement through FEMA's Public Assistance, or PA program. Maria recalls a meeting with FEMA and the state several months ago. FEMA explained that the DRRA 1206 policy allows communities to receive reimbursement for administering and enforcing building code and floodplain management ordinances following a presidential disaster declaration. DRRA 1206 has two main principles. 1. Increase the overall speed of recovery by helping complete post-disaster activities, and 2. Enhance compliance with state and local building codes and floodplain management ordinances. FEMA will reimburse communities for PA-eligible activities performed within 180 days of the declaration and includes building code administration, code enforcement, floodplain management regulation, administration, and enforcement, and substantial damage determinations. Eligible work must relate to the repair, replacement, or retrofit of disaster-damaged properties. Successful reimbursement for eligible DRRA 1206 activities requires close collaboration between state and local partners. Key stakeholders should define their roles and responsibilities in advance of a disaster. As the floodplain administrator, Maria knows that Oakdale needs to be in good standing with the NFIP and must assess buildings in her community for substantial damage. Based on Maria's understanding of Oakdale's resources, she asks herself some questions to identify the community's needs. Do I have enough staff to collect substantial damage information and data to enforce the building codes and floodplain management regulations? If not, FEMA will reimburse communities for the cost of hiring temporary workers, surge staff, and contract work under PA Category G. Permanent employees can also be reimbursed for overtime. Do I have the resources necessary for processing disaster-related floodplain permits and reviewing disaster-related development for compliance? If not, communities can be reimbursed for hiring, training, and licensing staff to process permits and reviewing and inspecting the development. Does my community need to hire staff or purchase or lease equipment to conduct substantial damage operations? If so, hiring staff or buying supplies and equipment necessary to conduct substantial damage activities is covered. Is there a way I can work with others to help our community fill these needs? Yes. After a disaster, communities can leverage resources through the Emergency Management Assistance Compacts and intrastate or interlocal mutual aid agreements to secure the resources needed for substantial damage operations and other floodplain management administration and enforcement activities. Thanks to the DRRA 1206 policy, the costs of these services can now be reimbursed. Maria now understands the eligibility requirements for seeking reimbursement for activities eligible under FEMA's PA program because of DRRA 1206. Then, Maria's phone rings. It's a FEMA official. She's reaching out to check in on Maria's post-disaster floodplain management support needs. Maria explains that she is familiar with eligible DRRA 1206 activities and states her intention to submit a project worksheet, knowing that Oakdale plans to complete eligible work. Recovery efforts have been underway, and Maria is ready to submit the documentation she's been collecting to be reimbursed. She coordinates with Oakdale's PA point of contact, the local emergency manager, to submit a request for assistance on PA Grants Portal. Once the request is approved, Maria can coordinate to submit a project and claim expenses for the damages and costs beyond her community's normal, ongoing operations. Maria feels a weight lifted off her shoulders. Empowered by the resources now available to her through DRRA 1206, she is ready to take on the post-disaster activities that previously felt overwhelming. From promoting building code enforcement to conducting substantial damage assessments, Section 1206 unlocks reimbursement to help her community recover faster and stronger. Maria feels secure knowing her community is on a steady path to recovery. To learn more about these new PA-eligible activities, visit FEMA.gov to review the policy and view frequently asked questions. You can also reach out to your regional FEMA office, state NFIP coordinator's office, or state emergency management agency.